I'd like to say, first of all, thank each and every one of you for all your birthday wishes. Hey man, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And today is a very special day for me. Quite naturally, it's my birthday. And I can't think of a better place to be but out here in Galveston. You know, see, I'm reaching back here because I got to get notes, y'all. So much. I like to say thank y'all guys so much, man. This is my 76th birthday. And so happen my birthday comes in March, and we all Pisces, and we on the water like we are today. And everybody know I love water. You guys understand that from all the videos I did on the bayous, and last year out there on the ocean out there in Florida, which was the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, and even up there in California, up there on the Pacific Ocean in LA, and back here on the Gulf Coast of Galveston. So 2023 has been an exciting year for me, you know, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you guys for following me on my videos. And I posted up the top 10 videos that I had did in the past, or that I have done in the past, y'all. But today I'm gonna take my time. I don't know how many minutes I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do a bunch because I got so much to tell. First of all, the number one thing that I've been holding back, you guys, is this year I'm going to start publishing a book. I'm going to start writing a book. That's my bucket list. And when I start on the book, you know, I've been wanting to do a book, but I just didn't know what title of the book I want to do. Now I got the title. God gave me the title of the book. And the title of the book will be The YMCA and Growing Up in Third Ward. Now that is so much exciting for me to be able to be over here, to come out here in Galveston to break open the book that I will be bringing out for hopefully by next year. And the YMCA, what can I say? The YMCA did so much for us in Third Ward. Number one, the YMCA was the only YMCA for blacks in the city of Houston, and it was located in Third Ward. Just to let you know that what I've been doing, this is something that God had already planned a long time ago, and didn't even realize what was going on, because I was acting so bad and didn't really realize that the YMCA was the beginning. And I can't think of a better person than to introduce me to the YMCA was Marvin Neal. And Marvin Neal is just like a brother to me. Just show you how close we are. Our mothers were good friends because they lived next door to each other. When Marvin was born in December 1946, my mother went with Miss Merle Neal to help bring Marvin Neal into the world. And when my mother was pregnant with me in 1948, March the 19th, I wasn't at Herman Hospital. Miss Neal was with my mother when I got delivered out of my mother's womb. I just show you how close me and Marvin is. My mother was there with Miss Neal, brought Marvin out of her womb. Miss Neal was there with my mother when I came into the world, which was March the 19th, 1948, 76 years ago today. And Marvin and I were just like brothers growing up as little kids. But to make a long story short, we're talking about the book, the YMCA. I was so bad I couldn't go to the YMCA by myself unless I sneaked off and went. But so thank God, when I was about 6 years old, I went across Wheeler Street. That's where Marvin and them had moved. After they moved off of Carver Street, Miss Neal and them moved over there at 3518 Rosewood. And Marvin was over there on Rosewood, and me and Harold and Darryl, that's who I was brought up with as a little bitty boy. Me, Harold, Darryl, and Zuki. We was the three. And when I went across Wheeler Street and ran back into Marvin later, I was 7 years old. And when I went there and Marvin introduced me to Jerry Shepherd, because him and Jerry was classmates over at Blackshear, and this is how I ran into Jerry, through Marvin Neal. And make a long story short, when we went over to the YMCA, and that way I could go to the YMCA, Marvin was my babysitter. That's how bad I was, because my mother didn't trust me by myself because I was that bad. But Marvin was like a babysitter because he could report to my mother, and he told my mother, and my mother told him, anytime I get out of line, make sure he come back and tell her. And I got to thank him so much, because I was out of line cussing out Carl Oliver and everybody else over to the YMCA, and not one time Marvin Neal reported to my mother how bad I was acting, because he knew my mother was going to whoop my butt. So, but to make a long story short, I got introduced to the YMCA through Jerry and Marvin. And when I got introduced to the YMCA, then Marvin and Jerry took me in just like a brother, like he had already took Marvin in as a brother, because he didn't have any baby brothers, and I was the only baby close to them. I was Marvin baby brother, and I was Jerry baby brother, because they were older than me. And what can I say? When we went to the YMCA, and then I meet some good friends at the YMCA. What can I say about Lawrence Williams, y'all? We all used to be in the game room. First of all, what the YMCA taught me. Woo, it's so much the YMCA taught me. First of all, the YMCA taught me how to shoot pool. I didn't know how to play no pool. But through Jerry and Marvin, I learned, and I was pretty good. And I learned then that any given day, anybody can win. Some days Marvin would beat me and Jerry would beat me on the pool table, and then some days I get lucky and beat them on the pool table. And then what can I say about Will Jones, who lived down the street from us on Carver Street? And that's how it was in the game room. It was me, Jerry, Marvin, you guys know him as Doohickey, and Mr. Will Jones. We call him brother. That was us four in that game room, man. And later on, we had Lawrence Williams come in the game room. And that's all we did was shot pool. And when we wasn't on the pool table, Marvin taught me how to play ping pong. And Carl Oliver was he was over the game room. He was the manager of the game room. So the YMCA right then taught me how to shoot pool, how to play ping pong, but that ain't the end. On the other side of YMCA, that was the swimming pool and the gymnasium. And what can I say? Following Marvin again. That's how I learned how to swim. And then through swimming, Will Jones, Marvin, and then that's when Sterling Stewart came in, started swimming with us. And Sterling, and then Mr. White, and then Mr. Daniels, Raymond Daniels, all of us, those are the guys that taught us how to swim. And when we got to learning how to swim, like me and Marvin, we joined the swimming team along with Will Jones. We joined the swimming team. And then Sterling Stewart came in and outswimmed us all, and he joined the swimming team. And then I learned how to be competitive. Thanks to Mr. Johnny Means, of course. These guys had patience with me, man. People like Johnny Means and Thurman Robbins, I might call him Dr. Thurman Robert. They taught me how to be a competitor. That means how to compete against each other. And Lord knows how much I appreciate that, because that helped me all the way through life. And what can I say? I didn't learn how to box, because I went in the boxing ring, and Mr. White had a little boxing ring out there, and Reverend Ray Morton, along with a guy named Rudy, they trained upstairs and played boxing. I tried to box, but boxing wasn't me. No, I got knocked down, and after I got knocked down, I didn't want to get back up and start fighting no more. And then we had the basketball court. I wasn't too much in love with basketball. Marvin them played basketball, but that swimming was my thing. Never knowing that I was a Pisces, never knowing that 70-something years later, I'd be out here in the Gulf of Mexico, in Galveston. But that's how much the YMCA taught me. It taught me how to be a competitor. It taught me how to humble myself. Because when I would cuss out and start cussing, boy, I was a big cusser, y'all. That's why I'm so glad I'm saved now. Over 30 years being saved. And I'm glad and I appreciate it. And Lord knows I appreciate Reverend, my pastor, and my good friend. And he was the best swimmer of all of them. And that was Luther Walker. I thought he was out of Studewood, but found out him and his brother Castro was out of Fifth Ward. But learning how to be a competitor. And this is what Johnny Means and Thurman Robin taught me. Because every summer we would have a swimming meet. And I was on the swimming team. For the first time, that's the first team that I ever was on. When you look at all the teams that I've been on, from bread, soda water, sausage, disc jockey, selling cars, whatever. The first team I ever was on was the swimming team. A team is when you work with other people that is doing the same thing that you're doing, but trying to make a winning team. And to represent something. And swimming for the YMCA taught me how to represent the South Central YMCA, because that's what we was, the South Central YMCA. And this is what the book is all about. And it's just why the book was all about, because the name itself, YMCA, that's what it meant. Young men, which was boys, because you had to be a boy to be a man, but you're a young man even when you are a boy. And Christian, that's what it means, y'all. Young with your boys. Men, which is males. Christian, which taught us the morals of how to respect adults and how to respect our fellow man. Association. That means we all come together as one. The way God wants us to be, as one. And that's what it means, Young Men's Christian Association. And that's what the YMCA was about, and that's what my book will be about. The YMCA and how much it helped us here in Third Ward. And also what was so good about the YMCA, but like I said, it was the only YMCA for blacks, period. They only had 3 YMCAs. One was for whites, which was downtown. The other one was for Hispanics, which was over there off of 45 and 225, right there off of 610, and that was called the East Central YMCA. That was the East. YMCA. That's what it was, the East YMCA. I beg your pardon. And downtown was the downtown YMCA. But in Third Ward, it was called the South Central YMCA. And that's what we were raised up at, the South Central YMCA. And what can I say? Like I say, what can I say about Lawrence Williams? James Sykes, who have passed away. Paul Henry passed away. Mann passed away. Sterling Stewart passed away. A lot of these guys have already went and got their money in and headed on out to the good land to be with the Lord. And as I can say, that one thing about the YMCA and what it taught us, it also taught teenagers, because Mr. Walls used to have a canteen. And this is when the girls, which was the YWCA, which was over on McGowan, this is when they would come over to us at the YMCA, because Mr. Walls had the canteen, and people from all over the city of Houston. See, we was a village. We weren't split up like we are now, because none of us stayed around white folks. We all stayed around ourselves. That's why they built this YMCA for us. So we wouldn't have to go downtown to the YMCA. We wouldn't have to interfere with the Hispanic people over there at the East YMCA. We had our own. And everybody from Sunnyside to Fifth Ward to Pleasantville to Clinton Park, City Gas, Sunnyside, all of them people would come to the YMCA on Saturday night for canteen, if they were young and they was a teenager. Because it was for teenagers. We as boys, which was Marvin, Sterling, Jerry, Lawrence, we couldn't go. If we did, we would have to sneak in. Why we couldn't go? Because we weren't teenagers yet. But my cousin, who I love so much, Miss Hestel Harvey, aka Lulu. My first cousin, her brother, who I love up in Arkansas, William Harvey, aka Skull. Otis Taylor, who have passed away, who we're trying to get in the Hall of Fame, that played for the Kansas City Chiefs on the first Super Bowl that the Kansas City played and won, Super Bowl IV. And what can I say about some of the other people, such as Robert Tapscott, who helped teach so many young people out there in Fifth Ward over there at the Hester House how to swim. He learned it from the YMCA and took it out to Fifth Ward and taught many of the kids out there at the Hester House how to swim. But how did he get started? The YMCA. See how we branched out, y'all? And what can I say about the canteen? And then Fritz Grill came in the picture. And this is when we got to be what you might call nationally owned. When I say national, that means people from other cities know about the YMCA, because Fritz Grill was an All-American basketball player, and he was hired by Mr. Meese. Mr. Meese is the man that was the president of the YMCA. He was in control of the money and making sure that everything flowed right. But the people who was over us was Mr. Brooks. And from Mr. Brooks, it was Mr. Watkins who was over the game room. Mr. Brooks was over the swimming pool and the gymnasium. And what can I say about Mr. Meese? They already got something over there that the Texan got over there off of MLK and OST, named after Mr. Meese. Quentin Meese is his name. He was the president. They brought him in so he could help us young people, blacks in the city of Houston, teach us how to be young men, and most of all, how to be Christians, and to teach us how to be an association. That means to work together. Mr. Meese did it, but he had Mr. Brooks, And Mr. Brooks hired Mr. White to help him. And Mr. White hired Fritz Greer to help him, along with Reverend Ray Morton, who came in with Rudy to teach us how to box, how to defend ourselves. And what can I say when you say about boxing? What can I say about the late William Kennard, which was a great boxer? But all of this is about the book. And I think Mr. Larry Blackman, that will be helping me structure this book, because he got a book out. And I'm, like I say, all of this thing and what I want to do eventually, for my goal right now, God has been so good, is to be able to start publishing some of this stuff. Because we already got it documented on YouTube and Google. Now it's time for us to start documenting and putting it in the libraries and putting it at Amazon, where people can go out and buy it. And I can see people, successful people like the man who taught me how to be a competitor, Dr. Thurman Robbins. How many books he have went out and sold? Plenty of books, especially on the Turkey Day Classic. So that's what my goal is to be about. And I like to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is only part one of March the 19th, 2024, making history right out here on Seawall, where you guys may call it Galveston Island. But as I look across and I'm looking over here, I'm looking right at, as I'm looking at you guys, I look over here at Kroger. I helped open up that Kroger store here. That's right. Working for Blue Ribbon. Me, working for Blue Ribbon, helped open that Kroger store up here on Seawall, which they done remodeled 3 or 4 times, but it's still, the building and the property is still here. You know, I thank Mr. Franklin Ross for giving me the opportunity not only to represent Blue Ribbon, but also giving me the opportunity to be a sales manager over 6 white guys. I'm the only black, and the only black is the supervisor. That's over the 6 white guys. And I didn't ask for the job. They voted me in the job. Who voted me? The 6 white guys voted me in to be the supervisor of them. Why they voted me in? Because I could get along with all of these people. And they knew when they go on vacation and come back from their vacation, everything was going to be the same way it was when they left. And I'm so thankful that I opened up this Kroger store when it opened up in 1976. And I also opened up a Gerler on the other end of Seawall. They tore it down now. It's on University. Open it up. And the people at Micheletti out here in Galveston, oh man, they were crazy about me. They couldn't wait for Pat to go on vacation so they could see Bobby again. Because see, I had all these, first of all, it was Boots. And then later on, as I got to be a teenager, it was Boo Lee. And later on, when I got to be an adult and got on the radio, it was nothing but Bobby. And then later on, at radio, I got to be Bobby Boo Lee Williams. But the logo and the handle on the air was Bobby Boo Lee. And what can I say, man? You know, I was listening to my music coming in on 45, and I thought about, man, radio. You know, I listened to the, you guys listen, I hope some of you guys had listened to my birthday thing I did on, out there, that by the way, that's Sci-Fi. Not Sci-Fi, that's Sphere. Out there in Las Vegas is that picture that you watching. If you looked at the video called Hanging On That Now for my 76th birthday. And I look back and I listened to it myself, y'all, before I even upload it on YouTube or Facebook. And when I listened to it, and I say, God damn, man. I sound like, first of all, I sound like Gigi when I talk. And then I sound like Boogaloo when I am really getting into the music. And then I sound like Skipper Lee when I'm just, hey man, just trying to just relax and be myself. And then I sound like the friend who helped me out the most. Out of all of the disc jockeys who helped me out the most, Baby Dave Feller, may he rest in peace. All these people are gone. And then I think about Rick Roberts, who hired me. All of these people I think about when I listen to some of the music that you see me uploading on YouTube. And so I know some of it ain't authorized, but who cares, man? I ain't trying to make no money. I ain't got down here since this is my birthday, my 76th birthday. You don't see me out here putting no cash out on me. I don't ask for no money no more because God blessed me with the covenant of faith. God blessed me to have the guys at the Jack Yates Men Luncheon, which is the Jack Yates Men of Valor, to help me do the things that you guys are looking at today. That's why I don't put down there donating. Because I'm stopped. Man, I don't need the money. For what? God blessing me with everything. And that is to be able to use this as a platform to say how I feel and also explain some of the things that God has blessed me with. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. But I can't say thank you enough without talking about the year 2023 and some of the things that happened, man. You know, I look back with nothing but sadness in my heart because these people meant so much to me doing this video and doing this thing, especially Robert Jones, Jack Yates class of 1955. He the one introduced me to the Fabulous Sixties. He the one that helped me try to jumpstart this legacy that I did for Jack Yates at 2610 Elders by inviting me to some of the Jack Yates Fabulous 50s along with Miss Dolores Johnson, who also helped me. Miss Thelma Anderson also helped me. George Green also helped me. All these people helped me get into the Fabulous 50 so I could learn about 2610 Elders, the original Jack Yates. And I missed it. He passed away this past year. And what can I say about Big Jack, Darryl Jackson, man? I gave him his first job. He got to be a real good football player, not only for Ryan, but also Jack Yates, and also University of Houston. And no matter, I didn't even know who he was. I hadn't seen him in so long. He said, "Bobby, I'm Darryl." And then his little brother Anthony told me to say, "Bobby, Mr. Bobby, can you don't mind coming up and speaking for Darryl on this funeral? I'd like you to say a few words about him because you knew him when you was a kid." And I thank you, Anthony, for giving me that opportunity to get there and say something good about your big brother, Big Jack, which is known around the city of Houston. And like I say, Darryl was always there, man. When I started back here and got connected up with him later on as an adult, he introduced me to his sons over there at McGregor Park. And no matter what happens,